My name's Mike Duddy. I work for the Mersey Rivers Trust. I'm based here in Salford, and I've got a deep, long-standing love of local rivers. The River Irwell, which used to be one of Europe's most polluted rivers, and in the last 30-40 years has undergone an amazing renaissance, amazing change from being basically an open sewer that took human and industrial waste to sea and polluted the Irish Sea into something now that's far more worthwhile, beautiful, worth protecting. It's a fantastic river now. They explained to us how they used kick sampling to measure the numbers and the different species of invertebrates that lived in the riverbed, and how that could be used by as a citizen science method of gauging river health and monitoring the river to see if any pollution events took place. We thought it was a really good way for us as individuals to get involved on a more scientific, regular basis in the river. The dippers, which eat the invertebrates and the grey wagtails and the pied wagtails, and then from that level there's then the kingfishers and the other fish-eating birds, such as the gooseanders and cormorants, herons, and the different types of grebe. So on the River Irwell we're very lucky, we've got lots of different types of grebe, mainly great crested and little grebes, but we have had others in the past. Okay, this is a very interesting sample, because in here we've caught a different species of little mini fish that's now becoming very common to the River Irwell, but across Europe these fish are quite rare. It's called a bullhead. They're lovely little things. They don't really grow much bigger than this, and across Europe they're pretty much in danger, but fortunately on the River Irwell there are literally tens of thousands of them. So there's one or two little Baetis nymphs you can see darting about, like that one, and then there's a caseless caddis there. And they are a very good indicator of organic pollution, so sewage pollution in a river, as are all of these tiny little worms that you can see, called tubifex worms. Looks like a wood beetle, a normal little wood louse that you get in here. Indicator of poor water quality, and we don't really want to see them. Back in the 1990s, when the River Irwell started its recovery, you'd get hundreds, literally hundreds of these in a tray, and now I was very pleased to only see one. Our River Guardian programme to be really interesting, because it takes people's knowledge of their local section of the river, and it helps people to develop a much greater understanding of what's going on in the water around them and on the river, and how that impacts on local wildlife. So whilst our River Guardians, we asked them to do kick sampling, the river fly, take part in the river fly invertebrate monitoring, we also ask our River Guardians to do other types of monitoring as well. One of the main things that we ask them to do is to record the quality of the water, so record water chemistry. So we ask people to test for ammonia, phosphates and nitrates, and we use very simple, basically like little home chemistry sets like this, where you get little tablets. We ask people to fill up the test tube with 5 millilitres of water, which is about halfway, put the tablets in, shake them up for 3 minutes, and then record the colour change in the water and hold it against the chart here, so you can see if the colour here went dark blue, we'd know that there's really high levels of phosphates. On this one we'd know that there's really high levels of nitrates if it went orange, and on the ammonia chart, if it turns dark green, you've got really high levels of ammonia. Myself, on a daily basis, I can go out and sample 10 sites, but if we have 10 River Guardians and they can go out and sample 5 or 10 sites each, then it multiplies what we can do, and we've got a much better idea of what's happening on any given day in Greater Manchester, Merseyside and Cheshire and our local rivers. So the data that's gathered is absolutely doesn't sit on a shelf. It